guys, Jen here with Serenity Hill Farmstead. Today I am going to be talking about my high schooler. Today I'm doing a curriculum haul for junior year, 11th grade. We're not going to talk about how old that makes me. I'm going to talk about his curriculum haul today. I want to take a moment, if anybody is watching this that is just coming into homeschooling high school and you are feeling that anxiety that like, oh, can I do this? This is fun. Like, maybe I'm just weird, I don't know, but homeschooling high school, I was terrified to do it. I thought I was going to royally screw something up. I thought he was not gonna have the credits he needed, or I was just not gonna understand how to put all this together. It was not nearly as hard as I was making it out to be, as I was psyching myself out for it, you know? And it's been really fun to pick things with him, to see his interest, to watch him grow through this. And I'm interested to see how he moves forward in life with this. It's exciting. So I'm really, really excited for this year. Some of the things that we picked together, I'm excited to do with him. I hope I have time to. High school is, it's been more as we go every year. I'm a little more hands off with him just because, you know, he's high school. He's getting ready to possibly do some dual enrollment, either in our second semester of high school or into his senior year, just to get some college credit if that's the direction he chooses to go in. So let's start with language arts. I made a oops. I accidentally ordered the Good and the Beautiful printable for his unit books instead of the actual course books. So I'm gonna get that corrected, but let me show you what they look like. This is what it looks like. Each book, they're all the same every year. There's 10 of these. So you've got 10 unit books, and in each book, this is the one that he's working on right now for his sophomore year. It gives you your cover sheet, what you're going through, how to grade. And then there's more, and there's like a paper they have to do in every single one. Like right now, he's working on a biographical essay. This is sophomore year, but this is the same concept is gonna be for junior year. They focus a little differently for each year on what they're gonna be doing, but I'll have 10 of these for him for junior year. Along with that, they get the reader pack, and these are all the books that he has for junior year. That's it. So I don't know, I mean, this is a short story. Let's open this. I love opening new curriculum, like Christmas. Okay. This is the short story collection. Yeah, I'm a book nerd. Which is really funny for someone that does not make the time to sit and read. Some of the stories in here, in the stuff that they choose, they have quality reading. They have a book list also that you can print off. I think it's $5, and it's for every level, for every grade, every reading ability. And you can just pick things off of that list. You can either use them, all of the normal books that they do with the curriculum are on that list, or you can just choose, like for extra supplemental reading. High school has an option to do an accelerated reader, like an honors reading. We have not done it, so I don't know the details of it because I haven't gotten into it. But anyway, this is what's included in the junior, the short story collection, the Little Duke, little books. And then they have assignments, like papers that they write. They had, like, he had to write this year, he's had to write when he was reading the Sagebrush Surgeon. I can't say that, the Sagebrush Surgeon. He had to write a paragraph answering a question or one of 3 questions for each chapter that he wrote. The Call of the Woods, this is Edgar Guest collection. And this is just, I mean, I love the feel of their books. Okay, and Florence Nightingale. And also with this curriculum, every single year that you do high school, use the same flashcards. So really, if you're doing high school with them and you're staying with them for all of high school, you only have to buy flashcards one time, and that's the beginning. So every year that you have a new, you know, we're going to junior year, we're only buying our unit books. Where'd it go? Okay, our unit books, and so 10 of these, and then whatever the readers are for that year. That's it. That's all you're buying. All the flashcards and everything are included the first year when you buy everything. So that's your geography cards, I have several of them. This is just because this is how I organize myself. And then these are our European ones. Poetry memorization. And we've got Greek and Latin roots, year 1, year 2. Is there one for 3 and 4? I don't know, I didn't see it. So, but that's what we've got. So we'll use those as directed, and that's it. Oh, there's one more thing. Also, when you get your first year, your freshman year guide, or whatever year you start with this, you also want to make sure you get the grammar and writing guide. You have to have this with your curriculum. Anything that they do is referred back to here, and it's got everything from basic grammar and writing, grammar, punctuation, things like that, to the more advanced stuff. And this is what's going to teach them, you know, all of their stuff, like what he's doing right now with biographical essays. It's going to teach him all of the parts of that, writing a bibliography, all of that stuff. This is where he's going to learn that. So this is essential. So that is going to be language arts. And again, the good and the beautiful, if you are not familiar with them, it's not just language arts. It's not just your grammar and writing. It is spelling, vocabulary, reading, writing, your grammar, punctuation, geography, art. It's like art history appreciation, actually doing art projects. I'll show you. At the back of each unit, there's a new one. This is watercolor pencil that they're working on. So this is the project. And it goes through all the steps. So like, here we go. So this is the page that it starts. And the last like 4 or 5 pages is how to do this. And each day they do a different step. And that's what they get at the end. So he has not done this one yet. The art is optional, but I do the art. Okay, so now that's language arts. Language arts is important, but that's not what I was excited about. So let's get into the things I was excited about. So for math, yeah, this is kind of something I'm a little excited about. Math, once we got into algebra, became a little bit of a struggle, but we got through it because I can do algebra. Geometry is where we're at this year. That is a bit of a struggle. So we're going slow. Teaching textbooks, the way they work, their subscription, if you get a subscription to them, it's not like, you know, on a certain timeline. It's not like, you know, August to May. It is from when you get it until when your time is up. So you have your year. And you can pause it, and you can, if you don't use that time, you can use that pause time that you have in your subscription to extend your time. They have tutoring and things like that. We will be utilizing the tutoring. I've got some friends that have offered to help with that too, so locally, so much appreciated if you're watching, because that is something that he's having a hard time with this year. For next year, anything that needs to be finished up, we will finish up. And then we're gonna move into business math. He is very interested in entrepreneurship. He is interested in starting his own business. He's talked about a couple different things that he wants to go into, but everything comes back to him being his own boss. So I have a couple different things in mind for that. I'm still looking at actual like consumer math kind of classes, but a couple things we're gonna start with. I did purchase, because it was like $20 and it's normally not $20, the Dave Ramsey high school. It's not Financial Peace University. It's the curriculum that he has for high schoolers, and I can't remember for the life of me what it is. I'll put it here because my brain is failing me right now. But I bought that because it was $20, and I figured if we don't go in that direction, it was only $20, and I'll probably end up using it at some point anyway, so we have that. The thing that I did get, this is from Master Books, okay, and you get this little Master Books guide that tells you all about the stuff. And for high school, it tells you, let's just find a high school section here, okay? Say you're gonna do History of Religious Liberty, it tells you how many credits, so you don't have to figure it out. So we are going to do economics. This is the half credit. So this is Bankruptcy of Our Nation, money-wise. And then this is the teacher guide that comes with it. It is technically an intro to economics, so this is what he will get. What I liked about this is it comes from a biblical standpoint. They're a Christian company, and what to do with your money as a Christian. And, you know, it's got that biblical base in it, and it's also got the financial sense. So that was important. Biblical, well, it says right on there, you know, Biblical Principles of Work and Finances, money-wise, 14 lessons in here. So we're gonna do that. And then from here, we're gonna move on to Civics and Constitution. That is also a half credit. That's gonna serve as his history credit, along with this other elective, bottom of a pile, because I'm not going in order. I actually had this book that I bought from a friend, was given from a friend, bought from a used book. I don't know, I have it. So this is Christian Heritage. This is basically the history of the United States of America and how it became a country and all of the people involved in that whole process. So we have that. So all I had to buy was the teacher guide for that. So that is a full credit. So that is gonna be his history, Christian Heritage, history course. And then we'll have a half credit for the intro to economics and then half credit for civics and constitution. Civics and Constitution is not required in our state. We are homeschooling in Illinois, where there are currently no requirements for what children learn, so long as you are teaching in English 6 disciplines in the suggested time frame. So that's pretty much it. That's all we got to do. But I am teaching him in terms of A, his interests, B, where he thinks he's going to be using it in the future, and C, the staples that we think are going to be important for him to carry into his professional and personal life as an adult. So that's what we're carrying. That's what we're doing for that. So this next one that he's doing, we're doing a lot of electives this year. This one was an important one for me to encourage him to take, to tell him, we're gonna be honest, to tell him that he's taking. We live in rural Midwest America, which is short on diversity, let's just say. And I wanted him to learn about different religions and different cultures. That was stuck in there. Okay, so book 1, let's talk about book 1. Okay, book 1 is Mormonism, Islam, Deism, Jehovah's Witnesses, Zoroastrianism, and more. I have never heard of that. See, this was the one that I was really interested in following with him and reading these because, wow. Because there's things in here that I don't remember learning about in college. Comes with this handy dandy little poster. Let's see if I can open it without ripping it. I'm good at these. Whew, okay, we're gonna open it later, but you know, you get the idea. It's huge. I don't know how we're gonna use that. If it was like this, that'd be great, but we'll see. And then see, book 2. Oh, book 2, this is a bigger book, feels like. Eastern religions like Hinduism, Taoism, New Age, Sikhism. I really hope I'm not totally butchering that. Confucianism, Shinto, Buddhism, as well as pagan-based systems like Wicca and Voodoo. And then book 3. Book 3 discusses atheism, humanistic type of religions, including naturalistic religions, communism, Scientology, and something I cannot pronounce. So this is a smaller book. So it looks like the second book is the biggest book. This is going to be interesting, not just for him learning about this stuff, but for talking points. It opens a lot of discussion. That is something that I wanted to make sure that he got, was world religion, enlighten him a little bit. Now, for those that are looking at this going, oh my gosh, some of those things I do not want to expose my children to. I'm just gonna say it bluntly. This is probably gonna get me a little bit of hate in the comments here, but I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. This is a Christian curriculum, and this is from the Christian standpoint. However, there are differences in the world, and as a budding adult, a young man, soon to be the leader of his own family and head of household, he needs to be able to be aware of things in the world that are not just in our bubble of Christianity, and be able to speak to truth, to be able to be knowledgeable about things, and to not be easily deterred by worldly things. So that's all I'm gonna say on that, because this is a can of worms I do not wish to open on my channel. So if you have a comment towards that in the comments, I would love to hear respectful comments, but please know that if they're not respectful, they will be deleted. So moving on to science for him. Science, let's see, what did we do? So science was a thing. I have gone back to Apologia I don't know how many times because it's a great curriculum, you know? However, it's not a fit for us. It's just not. And every time I try to make it a fit, it ends up pushing us backwards. So we got, this is where my high school fail comes in, my high school teacher fail thing comes in. We got a year behind. And then there was that whole 6 months of me having hepatitis and then COVID. So So science is the only thing we are still behind on though, which is good. Everything else is totally caught up. But we're basically starting our junior year with sophomore science. I have a solution to that though. We're doing 2 years of anatomy and physiology. So this says 7th to 9th grade on it. However, there's nothing saying that you can't teach this for a sophomore and a junior. Also, he is interested in this. He feels that it is important to have a working knowledge of the body, which makes my, my medical background, my medical training, my medical heart very happy. I wholeheartedly agree with him. It's very important to have a good working knowledge of your body and how it works. So we are going to do this next year. He finished what he was doing for freshman year already. So of course already, it's been like a year and a half. So we are gonna move straight into this. And this is tomorrow, he starts this. This is do I have the right ones? Hang on a minute. Yeah. So this is Introduction to AMP, Anatomy and Physiology 1, which is the musculoskeletal system. Not a big book. And cardiovascular and respiratory systems. Okay, so we will go through that. And then when we finish that, we will be going into ANP2 feature book. And this is the nervous system and the digestive and metabolic system. So we'll be doing that. Now when this is all done, all this ANP is done, he does have a desire to do physics and chemistry and those things. And lab-wise, I could either spend the few $100s on having a chemistry and physics lab in my house, or we could dual enroll him at our local community college. So when that time comes, we will see. I'm gonna get all the information. I've got some information on dual enrollment and everything now, but I wanna get a little more and exactly see how those classes work. So, which I'm sure I could talk to some local friends that have already been through that process. So that is science. Okay, so the last thing that we have to cover for high school is foreign language. So foreign language for us, we have been working with LifePrint or Bill Vickers on YouTube for, I don't even know how long, how many years. It's something that is always in progress, that we're always working on, that we just make part of our daily lives, and that's learning American Sign Language. They didn't really have an interest in doing Spanish or German or anything other than that, and honestly, I didn't really have an interest in teaching it either. So ASL is just something that fits best for our family, and we use it with lifeprint.com, and also Bill Vickers on YouTube puts fantastic videos out, and honestly, we use that more than online because they're just individual lessons and they build on each other, so we like them a lot. So that is the 11th grade, junior year, high school curriculum haul for our 2021-2022 school year. If you are new to the channel or just coming over for the curriculum haul, I am a homeschooling mom to 4 kids ranging from 2nd grade to junior in high school. And I do have one more video coming for all of the group curriculum, the group studies that we do. Wyatt, my high schooler here, does not do everything with us for the group studies, but he is included on the nature study stuff. So if you are interested in seeing that, it's more than nature study. It's more what we like to call as homestead homeschooling. It involves home ec, it involves foraging, survivalism things, hunting, gardening, animal husbandry, things like that. Those are things that we do, that we teach, is part of our curriculum, things that they do get credit for and things that we are very passionate about doing. So if you do want to hear more about that, make sure you hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you can get notified when that video comes out. That'll be very, very soon. And we'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.